Assalamualaikum. My name is Karinisa binti Suisha. My student ID is DEM0719065. Today, I would like to present about the murder case of Siti Nursurya Shuhada. Question number 1. As a detective, you are required to make a field notes of the above case on the day of the incident. The field notes must be follow the sequence of the incident. On 1 November 2020, Siti Nurliana Shuhada, 15 years old, returned home from her school and saw her sister Siti Nursurya Shuhada, 19 years old, emptied in the living room of her home in a state of blood and a wrist breaks. Siti Nurliana tried to wake her sister up, but there is no response. Siti Nurliana called her brother Muhammad Zaid Azrai to inform the incident. There were lost items such as cash money, makeups, and mobile phones. CCTV footage from the building records near the house found EX5 motorcycle that came out and went into Surya's home at around 9 a.m. and high-winded woman Siti Nur Atirah, aged 19 years old, a teenager who is also a good friend of Siti Nursurya, is the woman named in the CCTV footage. Date of cases on 1 November 2020. Case murder. Place Kampung Lubik Batu, Telemong. Victims detail Siti Nursurya Shuhada, 19 years old, female, Malay. Investigation Office or officers involved: Deputy Superintendent Muhammad Ali Muhammad Daud, Chief District Officer of Terengganu, and Assistant Commissioner Muhammad Marzuki Muhammad Mokhtar, Chief Officer of Criminal Investigation Department Terengganu. Injuries on victims were on neck, body and wrist, and causing death. Used weapon, sharp object. Eyewitness: victim's mother, but she is disabled. First person who arrived at the crime scene was victim's sister. Motive of the case not detected. Suspect: people who is the victim know. There are many fingerprint and footprint all were found all over the house. That's all for question 1. Question number 2. In this case, as an investigation officer, what the evidence help you to establish the murder case other than confession of the suspect? Number 1. CCTV footage. CCTV footage from the building nearby the victim's house was the first evidence that led the indicates of the suspect. CCTV caught the suspect around the time of incident happened. The suspect had met the victim on that day and left the house alone. Suspects also the victim friend, so she had been called by the police to testify against the investigation. Suspect's behavior was suspicious. This indicated the investigator to dig more about her. The victim knew the suspect. That is why there was no break in signs. This creates the possibilities that the victim's friend, Atirah, is the real suspect. Thirdly, the investigator also could see a few injuries on the suspect's skin. There were bite marks that were probably caused by the victim when they on fighting. To see whether the bite marks matched the victim's teeth, an analysis was done. All items that missing, such as handbags, makeup, and cash money on victim house was found in the suspect's house. Forensic team first conclude the suspect used a sharp metal as a weapon based on the stab wounds. The police successfully found a knife that was thrown by the side of the Lemong Highway. In this case, there are traumas suffered by those involved. Those people you think suffers from the traumas, and what is the result of the trauma in this case? Family members of the victims are still traumatized. Even after 5 days of Siti Nursurya death, especially her sister, Siti Nurliana Syuhada, 15 years old. This is because she is the first one who directly found the body of her sister when she returned home back from school at 2:30 in the afternoon. She directly made a call on her father to make a report about the incident. Her father, Ismail Muda, he said he still can imagine his daughter's body lying in the living room of the house with a sad condition. Her father also said their whole family is not ready yet to return to their home because they don't have strength to go back to their home. They temporarily stayed at Ismail Muda's late grandfather in Kampung Beladau, Selat Kampung. Only his son commuted to and from home to pick up necessities such as clothes and personal belongings, as no one was able to set foot the scene of the death. Zaini Musa, 55 years old, was the mother of the victim who is suffering from brain cancer, cannot be left alone for a long period of time. At the time of the scene, she was in the house but she unable to do nothing. Before this, the victim was taking care of her mother when no one around, but now his father have taken part of taking care of the victim's mother. She is still looking for Siti Nursurya even it has been 5 days after the incident. The victim was the closest child to their mother, and so that the mother always called her name. That's all for question 3. So, question number 4, last but not least. As an investigator of this case, do you think the suspect can be punished under Section 302 Penal Code for murder or not, and why? In my opinion, suspect can be punished under Section 302 Penal Code because they have been proved that the suspect commit crime with intent. In the Penal Code, whoever committing the crime of murder with intent will be sentenced to death except the children below 18 years old. On this case, whoever committing the crime of murder with intent will be sentenced to death except the children below 18 years old. On this case, suspect Siti Nur Atira was 19 years old, so she can be punished under Penal Code 302 because she commit the brutal action to kill the victim that caused death. If the suspect has mental illness or she did not have intention of murder, she can't be punished. The suspect cannot be defense or defend herself because her action was more than self-defense. Based on the statement given by the suspect to the police officer, it is clear that the suspect committed the crime with intent because the accused cut the victim's wrist using a knife. That's all from me. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.